Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My name is Irene.
I'm
excited to be here in front of you and ask you my one question.
Yes.
Understanding.
One moment. Proceed.
Understanding that time is not linear, I want to ask a question.
Well, time can be experienced in a linear way.
Correct.
And in fact, that's usually what you actually refer to as time.
Yes.
But it is an illusion, nevertheless. Yes?
Yes. To me, this is like a romantic question.
A romantic question.
Yes.
Yes.
My husband and I, we have been talking about that in our next incarnation, we would like to meet again. And
But you understand that reincarnation is an illusion, yes? It's real as an experience. You can have the experience that you're reincarnating, but everything exists all at once. All lives exist right now. So you may create the experience of going from this life to another life and quote-unquote meeting again, but those lives already exist. Those are different people already existing right now simultaneously with the people you are right now. Therefore, you're making connections to them energetically to download information, to download energy, to aid and assist you in this experience, just as they may be drawing upon your life experience and downloading information and energy to aid and assist them in their experience along that connective line you have made from the present, just as they have made it from their present. Whether you call that the future or not doesn't mean it doesn't exist right now. So you don't actually ever become them. The idea is that from the oversoul perspective, it might be more accurate or precise to say it that way, because the oversoul has all these extensions in incarnations simultaneously, and you could say, well, as the oversoul, I have this life, I have this life, I have that life, in whatever order you wish to linearly perceive it. But the oversoul also understands that all those lives exist all at once, and that your experience of having one life after another is just a perspective from within the linear space-time framework, but it's not an accurate description of what's actually mechanically happening. You only have one life to live.
Okay.
The idea is that as you shift yourself, as you change your perspective, you can create the experience of having other lives, but that's just an experiential perspective. Nevertheless, to address the question you asked, the idea, again, is you can choose whatever you wish to experience just by making the choice. It's not that difficult. If you choose to have that experience of having another life together, you can. There's nothing that stops it.
Well-being in this incarnation. Well-being in this incarnation.
You mean while being in physical reality?
Yes.
Because the incarnation is who you are right now.
Okay.
So yes, you can choose to have the experience of having another life in physical reality together as two different people. I'm just telling you that that's just the perspective and an experience of the perspective. It's not actually what's mechanically happening, because those lives exist right now. Those are two other people right now.
Yes.
Does this make sense to you?
It does make sense.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You may also find that you might like to spend some time together in spirit as well.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I had this experience on Thursday night that I had this sort of energy going through all my back and forward, back
Yes.
and forward. It lasted a long time, maybe hours.
How exciting.
And then, you know, I was seeing everything kind of blurry.
Yes.
And then I don't know, something told me, I really haven't checked the website of Bashar, but to go there and discover that, by going in there, I discovered that you were coming to Oakland.
All right.
And so here I am.
So you were being guided by your own synchronicity, your higher mind, your guides, and our vibration.
So that energy that flew down my spine, what was that about?
It was a message from your higher mind saying you need to pay attention to this synchronicity. because it will somehow serve you.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
It's not mysterious. These are the kinds of things that will happen more and more as you expand your consciousness. These kinds of symptoms are par for the course of the expansion, where you become more sensitized to higher frequency energies and are more capable of consciously recognizing that you're being given information. And it will usually play out in the form of synchronicity or some form of urge that guides you in a certain direction. And that will tell you that this is where you need to be. This is the energy you need to experience, to aid and assist you. But it's coming from your own higher mind, mostly.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I know, that's why I said it.
I have a quick question, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. So I've been trying to follow my excitement.
You have been what?
I'm following my excitement.
Thank you.
So I'm working towards that path. And so about 6 years ago, I decided to drop my executive assistant job and become a pet sitter and dog walker. I did that for 6 years, loved it so much,
Yes.
worked my ass off, like 14 hours a day.
You no longer have an ass?
That said, then I got really sick and discovered at 40 years old that I had an emergency surgery and discovered that I had a congenital condition, so I had to stop that job that I love so much. And for 2 months I was in disability and stuff like that. So now I'm back doing this job on the side as I work again in an office part-time. And so my question to you is, I'm following my excitement. So that job, I loved it so much, no matter if it was less money, more work. But now there's this other part of me where my body cannot keep up with that excitement.
Then maybe you need to do something else.
I see.
Or maybe you need to look at how you might have been doing it and do it in a more exciting way that wouldn't wear and tear on you.
I see.
Maybe you weren't open to the idea that there may still have been some old ideas in there that you didn't realize were there, that you needed to work through. Nevertheless, you can still follow whatever at the moment is your highest excitement. And remember, the entire formula is not just act on your highest excitement. To the best you are able is the next part of the formula. Yes?
Yes.
So if you are no longer able, that's a sign that you need to make a shift and act on what you're capable of acting on that is representative of your highest excitement, because maybe it's telling you you need to make a change right now, whereas maybe you've been resisting that.
I think I have. Yeah.
Sometimes when you insist on the idea of acting on excitement, even though you're getting signals that maybe you need to make a change, then you're not actually following your excitement, because by definition, your excitement wouldn't contain the idea of something that would wear you down. Only resistance does. So in resisting the idea that you needed maybe to do something a little bit different because you were so enthusiastic just about following your excitement, regardless of what you were experiencing, you weren't really paying attention to your actual definition of excitement. Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense now. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Very much.
Remember that when you act on your excitement, there is absolutely nothing that insists that it has to be forced. That's not excitement. If there is something going on when you are acting on your excitement that you need to pay attention to it. Remember that one of the tools of excitement is to bring to your attention any beliefs within you that are out of alignment with that excitement, so that you can focus on them and pay attention to them and find out what they are and let them go. Not just keep pushing through because you insist, well, my excitement shouldn't be having this effect. But if it is, it's there for a reason. Remember, even though it might bring up something you don't prefer, it's there for a reason. And if you ignore it, it's only going to get stronger until you pay attention to it. That's how it works.
I agree.
Why, thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I'm not, but thank you for the sentiment.
I would like to have a conversation with you about my guides.
Yes?
And I think it would go more smooth if you led the conversation.
I don't think so. Now, what are you going to do about that?
Well, I figured you were going to throw me a curveball, so I'll
Are you going to guide yourself back to where you need to be?
okay, yes.
All right. Remember, as we have said, Guides are doing their job the most, the best, when they are, what?
Guiding me?
Oh, well said. When they are unobtrusive.
Yes.
When you don't necessarily know that you're being guided. When it's subtle. When they use the things that are already in front of your face, like synchronicities. When all they may need to do to get the information you need to you is just nudge you or whisper, hey, just turn left here. Then you'll overhear what you need to know. Instead of it coming with voices and trumpets, like many of you ask for. That's not the way they really do their job best. They are attempting to remind you that you are your own best guide and to start trusting your higher mind and your intuition in these things. Yes?
Yes, I understand that.
All right, well, there, I started the dialogue. Now, do you want to finish it?
Well, over the past few weeks, I've had thousands of questions, and right now, they are all eluding me. So I'll just...
All of them? Not even one little one still hanging around? You can take a moment.
I guess I'm afraid of the question.
What are you afraid of? What are you afraid will happen if you ask it?
My head will explode, and everybody around me will have to clean up the mess.
Would that be so bad? There are probably mops and brooms somewhere. Maybe a bucket or two. However,
my question, I remember hearing you say one time that you could teach somebody to channel in 5 minutes.
yes,
And
I can actually teach you that you are channeling in no time at all.
right.
Because you are.
I guess that was going to be my next question, because I started thinking, okay, there's the channeling, like you were mentioning, how we're always channeling.
Yes.
I know that I am channeling my guides.
Yes.
Sometimes
All right,
they
so
get me in trouble. But trance channeling?
well, it's not actually a trance. It's a state of heightened connectivity.
Okay.
But nevertheless, if it's something you want to do in a vocal way, as you're seeing right now, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
If that's exciting for you, then obviously the opportunities will present themselves to you in life. But one of the easiest things to do to practice is to actually have someone asking questions. Because then they act as a grounding circuit that pulls the information through you, allowing you to get out of the way, and anchors and grounds the information in them. If you're just doing it yourself, in a room all by yourself, you don't have to go into that state. You can just receive the information telepathically directly. The only reason to go into the vocal channeling state is so that you're acting as a translation device for someone else asking a question in the way that you are of us. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
surround yourself with some people who are willing to ask the questions. Let yourself get out of the way by not caring whether you get the answer or not caring whether you look ridiculous in doing so.
Like
you understand?
get over the weirdness kind of thing.
Yes. So just allow the mechanism to be set up properly so that, like electricity, it can take the path of least resistance through you to the person asking the question, instead of staying within you because it has nowhere to go. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So you can practice that way. That's one way. Other ways may come to you through your synchronicity. Is this exciting for you to do this?
Oh, absolutely. I see a lot of people doing it, and I want to have that fun too.
Well, then go right ahead.
Okay.
But you need to do it in a way that is actually representative of the way it's actually done.
Right. I
Yes?
just need to get out of my own way, basically.
Well, yes, and you will learn things in the process. And at first, there may be some resistance, but that's all right. You'll learn. Just like with anything. Yes?
Yes.
Practice, practice, practice.
Right.
Yes?
Absolutely.
All right. Does that help you?
That does. Thank you. That's what I needed.
All right. Thank you.
very much.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you for speaking to you again. And I have actually two questions.
Yes.
One is my friend piggyback on me, so I have to ask her questions. Her question is, we are taking MSM and vitamin C, 6,000 to 10,000. You tell us that's good for us.
It can be.
Yes.
But again, these are permission slips. If you're attracted to use it, you're attracted for the reason that it will probably work for you.
Yes, it is working for us.
All right.
But one question is, we buy these things, MSM plus glucosamine together, and that's affect. It's not a good idea to do glucosamine, 6,000 milligrams.
You have to leave it up to the individuals as to whether or not they're attracted to do such a thing. Permission slips don't necessarily work for everyone.
So it doesn't matter if it's working for me, it's okay for me, but my friend had a question, so it doesn't matter, actually, it's okay. Up to yourself.
Yes, of course it's up to you.
Okay. That's one question.
Yes.
And another question is that I'm leaving all my family in Berkeley, my 4 children and my granddaughter, and I'm moving on to my life. I'm 67, and I'm going to the little island, and I'm kind of a little bit afraid, and I want to know, make sure if I'm making right choice or not.
Why are you leaving your children?
Because I'm tired of raising them. I'm 67. I want to live by myself. I want to find myself. Because when my kids live next door to me, and my children live very close to me, and my life is not my life.
How old are they?
37 to 47.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you. You think I'm making right choices?
Is it your highest excitement to do so?
Yes. All right.
Then if it is not the path for you, the synchronicity will show you that it's not. But at the moment, if it seems to be the path of least resistance that is representative of what you prefer as vibrational compatibility, then doing so will be in alignment with who you truly are, and making that choice will also give the rest of your family the opportunity to rely on themselves. Yes?
Yes. That's the one big main reason I was leaving.
Then that may be the best way to raise them, by no longer raising them.
Well, actually, kids raise me. I think they're done raising me, so I'm moving on. I'm backward.
All right. But again, if you're truly following your excitement, then do so. And it will be the best for all concerned, because it will give them an opportunity to decide what it is they prefer for themselves at that point by seeing the consequences of their choices in comparison to your choices. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Because you can't really be in a relationship with them anyway if you're not actually being who you are.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So do what you need to do. Things will change in some way, shape, or form, but you need to become who it is you truly are if you're going to have any kind of really solid relationship with them anyway. And you need to act as an example to them that they too can see that it's important to follow your excitement. And they can learn to rely on themselves and be responsible for their choices. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So again, have fun.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Bye.
I can hear you in my head, I can feel you in my body, and I'm talking to you in your body.
But you're feeling your own higher mind matching our frequency is what you're experiencing.
It feels wonderful.
Yes, it does.
My good friend Adam Dubois at truthcodex.com wanted to send his heartfelt love and gratitude and thanks to you.
Our unconditional love in return.
He wanted me to say that you are such an inspiration. He found you at a time when he was awakening, and now he is a wonderful channel.
All right.
And he's living the fourth density life.
All right.
What he's particularly glad about is that you laid out the exact steps to follow.
Well, yes. That's what we're delivering to you, the instruction manual. These aren't philosophies. These aren't opinions. These are observations of how reality works, of the nature and structure of existence. We're literally giving you an instruction manual.
And he's so excited, and he's such a leader, and he's passing it on to me. And I imagine in about 2 years' time, or maybe sooner, I will be doing similar type of work.
How exciting.
Yes, 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 yes. He said he's thrilled at all the synchronicities that are happening.
Yes. Because again, synchronicities are always happening. But when you're in a positive state, you notice more positive synchronicity as opposed to negative synchronicity. Because creation always reinforces what you believe to be true most strongly. And if you believe in the negative ideas, it can only really give you a reflection of negative synchronicity that reinforces those negative beliefs. So synchronicity is always happening. It's just that you feel like you notice it more as synchronicity when you're in a positive state.
Well, I think getting to know your body and what the signals are,
Yes.
and reaching for your happiness all the time, it's practice, practice, practice. And
Well, it's also being.
yes.
It's also know yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So that's great. Everything's great. That's all
It
good.
is.
Yeah, it's all happening, and it's. I wanted to relay his love to you,
why, thank you.
and we'll probably be talking with you tomorrow when I'm talking with him again, because you kind of pop
All
in.
right, but again, remember, most of the conversation is with your own higher mind.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
All right.
Okay.
Then you are learning.
Yeah. The second thing is my new Russian friend, Elena Nicole,
Yes.
who I met just today. She was wondering if you would be able to tell her the date, time, and place of birth of her in this physical light, in her incarnation now. She is adopted.
Nope. It's not coming up.
Okay.
Therefore, it is not our job to do so, but something else will help her. That much we can sense. She has the help she needs. It's not our job.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more thing.
Yes.
This is my question.
Yes.
What is the importance of the Narwhal agenda or the Narwhal project for me in the past, right now, and in the future?
Define.
My higher self has been relaying this term Narwhal rule in my own personal channelings.
All right.
I've also been embodying it in my swimming
Yes.
and doing like the fin kick, like the dolphins do,
Yes.
and the whales. And so I was just wondering, what is that referring to?
Well, it's a reflection of a combination of things. It's not only the idea of a connection to serious energy,
Right.
but it's also a connection to the idea, in some sense, of nature, spirits, and magical experiences, since it is, in some sense, symbolic of something that you would refer to as the unicorn of the sea. Yes?
Yeah.
It's also that which pierces and penetrates through different ideas, different realities. Yes?
Yes.
So you can use it as a permission slip symbol in that way, by aligning with that energy and experiencing yourself piercing through the veils of illusion to experience the magic of reality and increase and expand your connections to serious energy, which can guide you.
So it's not related to any kind of a hybrid program or those kinds of things?
Not directly in the way that you mean it, no.
No.
Not that you're not connected.
Right.
Just that's not the symbol for it.
Will I meet my hybrid children? I think there was a lot of activity of me providing my genetics
Yes.
as a
There is
growing
a
up.
probability.
Yeah. Over 50%?
All right, yes.
I shall
Over
raise,
50%.
I'll raise my excitement. Well, I was just trying to sort out the symbolism. And again, I feel an upgrade just being in your presence, meeting you in the
That's
physical
because
body.
you're matching the frequency.
Yeah, yeah.
And therefore you're feeling your own energy upgrading.
Oh, yeah. So
But
that-
you're doing it.
So I can answer my own questions more and more and more.
Absolutely. That's, again, one of the symptoms of being in the preferred state of being.
Right. Oh,
Because all the questions contain the answers. And when you're in the correct state of being, you don't even necessarily need to ask the question. The information is
Exactly.
just there.
that's what I notice when I'm talking to my friend Adam at Truth Codex.
Yes.
When I'm talking to his higher self, it's almost like I don't need to ask the questions because I already know the answers.
Exactly. You always get the information you need exactly when you need it. That's why we tell you all, we don't have any memory at all of anything. We just know what we need to know when we need to know it.
So how can I raise my frequency so I'm sort of like this all the time?
You know the formula.
Okay, I know the formula. You're
Repeat
right.
it.
Just, I can't repeat it. My mind is numb. But just to follow my happiness.
I'm not going to let you get away with that.
just
Repeat
to go.
it. Repeat it.
I can't repeat your
Sure
words.
you can.
No, I can't. You're
Sure
scaring me.
you can.
I asked you not to scare me, and you said you love me, so.
And why are you scared?
Because my brain, like, here, all I know is just be happy.
Yes.
Don't worry, be happy. That's the way I interpret it.
All right.
Don't worry, be happy.
All right.
And then go from one excitement to the next.
To the
Best of my ability.
with no
Expectation of outcome. Namaste, my friend. Nice to see you in this arena.
We thank you.
All right. Love, love, love.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So, I think you've said this quite often about following your highest excitement.
Have I?
You have.
Sounds somewhat familiar, yes.
And it sounds so easy, so it's counterintuitive that any of us would not do so.
Because most of you have been taught to think of things in a more complicated way.
I'm wondering, would I at times choose not to in order to teach myself lessons that I wouldn't have otherwise learned?
Certainly, you can do it that way. You don't have to, but you could, and many of you do. Many times you will allow yourself to experience something you don't prefer because you have a belief that says that it's going to make what you do prefer clearer by comparison. It's like saying it's easier to see the tiny little candle flame when it's surrounded by darkness. Yes?
Yes.
So sometimes you will create the darkness to make it easier to see the light. Then you can move toward the light.
So it just takes some people longer to...
So what? What's your hurry? You are an eternal, infinite being. Where are you going? What's your rush? The idea is to be here now. Because the process you're going through is the entire point of having the physical life. Life is process. The journey is the destination. There is nowhere else to get to. Here is where you all need to be. In what is happening right now. That's the most important thing. There is nothing more important than what's happening right now in your life. And right now, and right now, and right now. Nothing is more important. Because this is where you exist, here and now. If you are trying to be somewhere else, caught up in the past, worrying about the future, you're not really being here and now. And then how can everything that is existing here and now find you if you're not home? It can knock and knock and knock. No one's home. Off, flitting around, dealing with the future, worrying about the past, so on and so forth. We'll just have to wait till they come home. Then maybe they can experience more of what's here in the now.
So that'd be another way to find your highest excitement, is to live in the moment?
The idea is hand in hand, as you say. Because when you act on your highest excitement, you are living in the moment. Yes?
Yes.
And when you're living in the moment truly, you are expressing your highest excitement. They just are really two sides of the same coin. Yes?
Yes,
Does that make sense?
it does.
Anything else?
Of the room here, what percentage would you say is extraterrestrial? Just one? Well, I know one, but I didn't know if there was more.
None of you come from another planet.
Okay.
You all have connections to other civilizations, but your bodies were born on Earth. Do you understand that?
I do.
Being an extraterrestrial means you were born on another planet physically.
How do I phrase it then?
You all have connections to extraterrestrial civilizations. You all have counterparts in other societies among the stars. Other versions of yourselves, in a sense. But you all have that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
From
Thank you.
that perspective, it's 100%. But that doesn't mean you are an extraterrestrial in the classic sense of the meaning of that word in your language.
Okay.
Does that help?
It does.
Anything else?
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Go back to your planet.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Okay, I have several questions. Let's see, where do I start?
Perhaps at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so can you give me a practical method for discovering the definitions in my life that need redefining?
Yes. Anytime you feel an energy, a feeling, an emotion, a thought, a behavior that is out of alignment with what you prefer, that feels like resistance, that is not really the feeling or state of being you prefer, stop and ask, what would I have to believe or define is true about me in this circumstance in order to feel, think, behave the way I do? You can ask it another way as well. If I am not acting on my highest excitement every moment that I can, what am I afraid will happen if I did? Those two questions from either direction, if you are willing to find the answer, will usually put you in touch with what the belief is that is generating the feeling, the thoughts, the behaviors that are out of alignment with what you prefer to experience. It's as simple as that, if you're willing to dig down and find those beliefs and make them conscious. Once you identify a belief that's out of alignment with you, it will suddenly appear to make no sense. And as soon as it makes no sense for you to hold on to it, it's gone. That's not the beginning of the process of letting it go. That's the end. Because as soon as something seems to make no sense, you drop it. So the idea is to bring the unconscious negative belief to light in your consciousness so that you can see it makes no sense. And then it's gone. Does this help?
Yeah. Okay.
But-
Okay, actually, this is a good lead into the next question,
All
because I
right.
do have a fear here. Maybe you can help
A
me
fear
with.
of?
I have a fear of going to jail.
Did you do something?
I don't know, maybe.
All right.
I'm learning. Okay.
Yes.
My highest joy, I love to do research online.
Yes.
And what I've been learning recently is that perhaps income tax isn't constitutional for the average American. That
Well,
it was made
in a
for-
sense, it's not. Eventually, the idea is that this system will change, and in fact, the present situation may actually accelerate that in a certain way. The idea is that eventually, over the course of the next several years, the concept of income tax will be eliminated, along with the institution that you call the Internal Revenue Service. It will be replaced by a federal consumption or sales tax, which means you will only pay the tax when you decide to buy something. But the idea is that if you wish that system to change, then do something about it by joining those who are working to change it. Yes? The one that is closest to the representation that we have just named is actually called the fair tax. And it's actually a House resolution right now under consideration by your government. So you can get on board if you wish to learn more about it and all the specifics in it and how you can help join and accelerate the process of changing that system if that is something that you're excited to do. Yes?
Yes, I am excited to do that,
All right, then look up the fair tax.
and I will. Thank
All
you.
right.
And one more thing.
Yes.
What about the Federal Reserve being
What about
a
it?
private bank?
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you enjoy conspiracy theories? Do you get a secret thrill from them? Do
Maybe.
you like being nervous about them?
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's
Why
a-
not lighten up and stop buying into the negative conspiracy theories and just do something about changing the system in the way that you would prefer to. Yes?
Yes.
Because again, remember, many institutions that operate on the idea of processing information through fear are using that as the chief mechanism to get you to believe that they are more powerful than they are. That's the chief weapon. Information that makes you believe they're more powerful than they are, which then allows you to disempower yourself, give them your power, and actually fulfill the idea that they are more powerful than you are. But they're not. They just want you to believe that they are. Yes? So don't buy into what they're peddling. And then you will see that they're not as powerful as they think, or would like you to think. Yes?
Yes.
You are your governments. That has never been clearer than today. So, walk the path that you prefer. Take the actions that are in alignment with the reality you prefer. Because that's what changes your state of being and shifts you more and more and more and more in whatever sequence you need to shift, at whatever rate and process you need to experience, more and more to the alternate versions of Earth that are already more reflective of the reality that you prefer, because you've made that change within yourself. You never change the world you're on. You just leave it for another version of Earth that's already more representative of the change you made within yourself.
On the same place?
It's not the same place. It just looks like it is, because that's your illusion of continuity. In the course of this conversation, we have all shifted literally billions of times per second through a multitude of parallel realities. But you, with your idea of space and time and continuity, make it appear as if you're still on the same planet. You left the Earth you started on a long time ago. You're no longer on that Earth. But you're creating such small incremental changes in the definition of the new Earth and within yourself that it still seems to be the same place. This is one of the symptoms and one of the experiences that most of you are going to start experiencing now in this new day and age, is a break in continuity. Again, you just experienced a big one. A break in expectation, a break in continuity that leaves you disoriented and free-floating, and realizing that you're not in the same reality you thought you were. So the idea is you're not ever in the same reality moment to moment to moment to moment. But if you keep defining it as being the same, that's the way you experience it. So the more you change the definition, the greater the difference in your definition from moment to moment, the easier it is to perceive that you're actually in a different reality all the time. Because the rate of change never changes. Your awareness of the fact that you're changing at that rate and your ability to create a different definition than before, a bigger difference in the definition than you were having before, is what allows you to perceive the rate at which everything is changing all the time. Does that make sense?
Yes, I prefer not to pay income tax, but to
I
do
heard
business
you.
with people.
But the idea is that's the system you have right now.
So I should accept that.
You accept it if you want to live in the system. But that doesn't mean you can't work to change it. Yes? It's not about breaking laws. It's about allowing yourself to change the laws, because you have that much power, because you are your government. Yes? You need to start acting like it and start working in ways that change the system to what you prefer. I'm just telling you that what you do when you do that is that you don't change the system on the planet you were on. You shift yourself to a version of Earth that already has the changed system. Because it already exists. Because everything already exists. So you're just navigating yourself to that version of Earth by taking the actions that are commensurate with believing that those things can be changed. That's the energy state that navigates you through the parallel realities to the versions of Earth that are more representative of what you prefer. Yes? That's the way to do the transition in the smoothest, most empowering way. Otherwise, if you're just rebelling, then that means you're still under their control. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like saying the prison guard is as much of a prisoner as the prisoner, because the guard has to stay and watch the prisoner.
Yeah.
So the idea of rebelling means that you believe they control you. If you understand that they don't, you will go about things in a very different, empowering way.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, okay, cool. Can I ask you one little question?
That was a question. You want to ask another one
I
now?
do. Can I? My knee has been hurting me. And
I do not do
really
health
like to know
readings.
what the message
I do
is.
not do health readings.
Oh, but can you help
But
me figure out?
energetically speaking,
Yeah, yeah.
you need more flexibility
Okay, thank you.
in the things that support you.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, thank you, Bashar.
Does this help you?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank
now, as you move through life, don't tax yourself too much.
Aloha, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So many questions.
So many answers.
Great. No, let's see. 2003, I was in a car accident.
How exciting.
Traumatic. Yeah, it was a traumatic brain injury for 3 months. I was on Mars talking to space aliens, so I believed.
All right, so.
I got a lot of money from the car accident, but with the brain injury,
Yes. What? What did it allow you to experience that otherwise you might not have?
I trusted everybody, and so the money's long gone. But
Well, the idea is not that you actually trusted everybody. It's that you didn't trust yourself enough. Nevertheless, so what? There are many forms of abundance.
yes, there are.
You do understand our definition of abundance, yes?
Enlighten me.
The ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Period. That's abundance. If you have the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, you're just as abundant as anyone. No matter what the form of abundance is. Doesn't matter.
I've had other experiences that were very miserable, but
How exciting.
lost all hope in any sort of,
That's also exciting.
which when I saw 3 different events, but 3 extraterrestrial, 3 UFOs,
Yes. And then?
that gave me hope.
No, you gave yourself hope. But hope isn't what you really need. What you need is to know yourself and to understand that you are never alone and that you always have reflections that will guide you. That's what you need to know. Yes? I understand what you mean by hope, but hope implies doubt.
Well, I had twin baby girls born to me 4 years ago.
All right, congratulations.
And then the mother took them away from me. That pulled me out of my hole, out of all the despair.
Again, you need to understand how to stay in a positive state. Because again, you also need to take responsibility for the choices you make and the consequences of those choices. Because you're co-creating. But it doesn't mean everything is lost. It simply means you need to adjust your frequency to be the frequency and the state of being of your true positive self, and then trust that synchronicity will bring you what you need. You're just getting the reflections of the states of being that you're going through, that you're choosing for yourself. You're getting those reflections. Because if a circumstance happens and you automatically define it as negative, then you have just proven that you are very willing to go into a negative state of being. You haven't changed. Remember,
Yeah.
the measure of change is not whether the outside changes. The measure of change is whether you respond in the way that you prefer to, regardless of whether the outside changes or no matter how it looks. That's the proof you've changed.
I don't know if I can get it back, the drive, the
Sure you can.
how.
Is anything exciting to you at all? Anything at all?
This,
Well, what's this?
I'm coming here to speak with
All right, well,
Crespo.
after you are done with this particular encounter,
Back to nothing.
what will you do that is exciting? What can you choose that's more exciting than any other option in your life? Doesn't have to be a big thing. What normal, typical thing will have even just the tiniest bit more excitement in it than anything else? Just pick something that has more excitement than anything else, no matter what it is. Could be as simple as taking a walk. Could be as simple as phoning a friend. Could be as simple as eating a meal. Could be as simple as reading a book or browsing through a store. Just look at the options you have available to you when you are done with the encounter and pick the one that has just a little bit more excitement and act on that first to the best that you are able, taking it as far as you can till you can take it no further. Do so with absolutely no insistence on what you think the outcome ought to be. And when that excitement seems to go away, then stop, look at the options, pick the next thing that contains more excitement, even just a little bit than any other option, act on that next. Just keep doing that and you will keep moving forward. In the energy of excitement, it will expand, it will grow, it will bring you through synchronicity more opportunities for bigger excitement. And then magical synchronous things will happen that you didn't even imagine were possible when it gets big enough. But you have to start the ball rolling by taking the first step. If you don't take the step, you're not going to experience the chain and the path of excitement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Start simple. If you don't know what to do, start simple. You can always go back to simple and just start again and let it grow. It will grow naturally. But you have to pay attention to yourself at every moment, because if something occurs, if something crops up that you would formerly have labeled automatically as negative, you have to stop doing that. And you have to know that even though it might be something negative that you observe, might be something you don't prefer, that's just a neutral observation. It doesn't have any effect on you unless you choose to match the frequency. So just observe it, learn something from it, find out why it would be there, because it might just be there to test yourself, to see if you really are willing to change regardless of how things look. Willing to be happy regardless of what other people say this must mean. Don't buy into other people's definitions. Create your own definitions of what it might mean for you. Even if you don't have a specific one, just know that it has to serve you in a positive way somehow. And it will give you a benefit. You'll eventually figure that out. But you've got to stop yourself from labeling things negative automatically. Yes?
Yes.
So that's the process that you can follow that can be of assistance to you, if you choose to do that. Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my first question is one that's been of a concern to our peoples for over 100 of our sidereal periods. I don't think we come to a consensus yet, and I've done a diligent search, have not found an instance in which this question was posed to you. You've answered it, so this is as good a time as any. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood, he would chuck as much as he could.
Okay, with apologies to Andy Warhol, that's just proof that in the future, everybody's going to be Bashar's straight man for exactly 45 seconds. All right, so next question. So in the Reflections transmission from almost a year ago, like 25 femtoseconds for you, I posed a question in the Q&A, And I was surprised to find that you responded to the question even though it wasn't presented to you, so I'm grateful for that as well.
Yes.
There was a question about the 5 laws.
Yes.
And how to understand, and whether understanding them somewhat differently would still be consistent in the way that you presented to them. And
There can be different
is,
interpretations of the laws, yes.
Right. So the specific way I have come to understand it is more like 3 laws, where the one is the all and the all is the one is the first, and yes. You exist, and everything is here and now as corollaries to that law.
Yes, of course. We only broke it out to make it easier for some people to understand the subtleties.
Okay. So, I guess, okay, so there's nothing I'm missing there, so you answered that question. Thank you. Next question. So there's also this, I guess, another understanding that I've come to and like to communicate is that we as a people, I call ourselves Mollies, like Masters of Limitation.
Yes.
That seems like the name is appropriate. One is the one that you touched on a little earlier in this transmission, which is many of us think of ourselves as bodies with a soul, when in truth we are souls that have a body. But the other fallacy, I'm sorry, was that? Okay. But the other fallacy is that the universe, we understand the universe to be principally physical, meaning the Big Bang happened and these little thing called atoms, got more and more complex,
yes.
et cetera, and the consciousness arose out of that. Where
yes.
the truth, or truth is too big a word, but it's more accurate to say.
The whole picture.
The whole picture.
Yes,
is
the idea of the physical universe is just part of the picture.
Right, and that it arose out of consciousness, meaning consciousness is primary, and the universe came out of consciousness. Is that accurate? Is that a
well,
accurate
again,
way of
you're saying it
understanding
from a linear perspective when you say came out of. Because again, existence is. And time is one of the things that exists within existence. And so you can experience the idea of a universe coming out of it, or you can experience it just as is. So it just depends on your perspective.
Interesting. Okay. So I'll have to internalize that a little bit more later. So,
all right, if you say so.
All right. Because the next part of my question kind of depended on a different answer, so I'll go to the next question. All right. So in another transmission from the Transforming Beliefs transmission, you mentioned this idea of resonant entrainment
yes.
in among a group, and the idea of creating a kind of bubble.
Yes.
And
are you talking about around the ships?
No. I meant not. It was presented in a way that it was something that we could do ourselves, even in our current state. We could use resonance
yes.
to better entrain our hearts together for to achieve an aim.
This is why in ancient Atlantis it was a technique that was used with drums. The idea of, in classes, to teach children things, they would start by beating a drum along with the idea of the heartbeat. And as soon as all of the children in the class were resonating to that drum beat, it was matched, synchronized to their heartbeats, then they would slow that beat down, their heartbeats would slow down, they would go into a kind of a trance-like state, and then they would be able to experience the lesson in a much fuller and richer way, as an actual experience of being what they were being taught about. So in other words, if they were being taught about sailing, they could actually experience themselves in the trance-like state of being in that resonant bubble as if they actually were the ship, were the sails, were the ropes, were the water. They could actually experience being the ship by being in that trance, and it was induced from that resonant drumbeat state. Yes.
Are there ways we can work together to do something similar? Specifically, well, my recollection, at least, of that transmission was that it could be, that resonance that you just referred to could be used in the way you just described. But I also got the impression that it could also be used in a way to project love, harmony, whatever the intention is that shared group has.
Because then you're saying you're in resonant harmony with existence. Because unconditional love is the signature frequency of existence itself. That's what you translate the frequency of existence as. You call it unconditional love.
Right.
So if you're in harmonic resonance with it, then that's what you're projecting, yes.
Okay. So I also participate in musical performance, and that idea inspired me to imagine how I might be able to do that.
Yes.
In the next 5 years. I was hoping, well, if it's possible for you to elaborate on how ways we might be able to apply it. Is there something you can share with us that would help us?
You're familiar with the Formula 2, yes?
Yes, I am, and I'm going to self-disclose that I know I am not adhering or acting in a way consistent with the formula at all times.
Well, it's all about being in resonance with unconditional love, because the idea is when we talk about acting on your passion, we're talking about acting on your passion in service to humanity, and that has to come from unconditional love.
Okay. So I have a question about this. Is really about my
what?
My personal experience. This is a personal question.
Yes.
Just last night, I was engaging in a ceremony, and the facilitator of that ceremony asked me what I wanted to receive.
Yes.
And I was a little flummoxed at my inability to simply answer that question.
All right.
Meaning, and that led me to probe well, it's obvious I have I won't say a problem, I have a challenge with that. What I'm asking you, is there something that you can read specifically in me that leads to that challenge?
All right, well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If you hadn't been willing to open up to receive being flummoxed, what would you have been open up to receiving? What did being open to being flummoxed get in the way of you actually receiving? Because being flummoxed means, in a sense, you may not have felt you were ready to actually receive what you really preferred to receive. So why aren't you ready for that? That's the question to examine within yourself. Is there a fear connected to that idea of receiving something that you really know you wish to receive, but get in the way by being flummoxed, by being hesitant? Is that what the fear-based belief within you is going, don't do that yet, you're not ready for that yet, so be flummoxed. So that's the question to ask yourself. What is it that you could have received that you might not have felt ready to receive that caused you to react by being flummoxed?
Thank you, Bashar.
All right?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Immense gratitude once again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Hello.
I know you. Good day.
So that nice gentleman sort of stole my question a little bit. Where I'm over
Are you
here
going to have him arrested?
I may. We may hang out and be confused and flummoxed, as he said, together. But that's...
I'm sure there's enough flummox to go around.
I'm sure there is. So when I thought a lot about what I was going to ask you, that was the overwhelming feeling that I had, is I never feel like I can trust the things that I'm thinking about.
All right. One moment. Don't go any further.
Okay.
So what are you using your trust for?
I think just getting through the day, man. Like, just making stuff happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember, you're always trusting something.
Yeah.
It's not about not trusting. You're always trusting something. So the question is, what are you trusting? And why?
Yeah.
Why are you putting your trust in something you don't prefer as opposed to something you do? What makes putting your trust in something you don't prefer seem more realistic than putting it in something you do prefer? Why do you have that difference in definition?
Yeah. I think when there's something tangible to it, I can see the results. I think.
So are you saying you only see results in negative things you don't prefer? You never see results in something you do prefer, or do you?
I think I have more emotion tied to the things that come up that are things I don't prefer.
More emotion? Mm-hmm. Because
I don't know. I think it's always easier to probably dwell on the negative rather
Is
than...
it? Is it easier to be someone you're not?
In like a self-loathing kind of way, maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
it's
Why do you loathe yourself?
I don't know.
Why do you deserve to
This is getting
loathe
deep.
yourself? Did you say it's safer?
I said it's getting deep. It's getting a little uncomfortable for me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it means you're reaching down to where you need to find the answers. That's okay. Unless you want to stop this, it's up to you.
No, I think it's good.
All right. Then we can continue.
Okay.
So, what do you loathe about yourself? I mean, if you're going to loathe yourself, go for it. Don't do anything halfway.
I don't think I do.
really suck.
Yeah.
Now, whoa.
Okay.
Do you really suck? Or is it something less than that?
I think it's something less than that.
Oh, all right. So we're making progress.
Yeah.
You don't completely loathe yourself. You just loathe yourself a little bit here and there, now and then. In certain ways at certain times. Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
About what specifically? Can you name one example where you loathe yourself in a situation in life?
I think just there's more of a general feeling that I get that.
But in what circumstances? What triggers it? When you experience what? When you see what? What triggers it? Where do you find yourself coming up short?
I think in my relationships with others, I feel generally that like very alone, like no one cares about me.
All right. Do you care enough about yourself to not care whether they care about you?
I'm working on that.
All right. How long have you been working on that?
I would say always, my whole life.
Your entire life. Well, your entire life isn't over yet. So you haven't been working on it for your entire life.
Yeah.
You've been working on it for your life up to now.
Yes.
All right. So don't exaggerate.
Okay.
You haven't lived your entire life yet.
Let's hope not, yeah.
Would you prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling?
Yes.
How do you know you would prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling if you don't know what it would feel like to live without that feeling? Ooh. Ooh, tricky. Listen carefully, how do you know you would prefer to live the rest of your life without that feeling if you don't know what it feels like to live without that feeling? Because you can't perceive what you're not the vibration of. So what part of you suddenly goes, oh, I think it would be nice to live without that feeling of feeling this if I didn't actually have an experience of having that feeling?
I'm not
So
sure if
you
I
must
got it.
have some idea what it would feel like to live without feeling loathsome, yes?
Yes, I see that, what you're saying, yeah.
All right. So as you're imagining what that might feel like, aren't you in that state of not being loathsome?
Yes.
So how does that feel?
Good.
All right. Would you like to continue to generate that feeling?
Yes, absolutely.
What stops you from doing so? What reasons are you creating to not generate a feeling you are obviously capable of generating because you just did it?
Yeah.
So what reasons are you creating to not have that feeling in the way that you would prefer to?
I think there's a part of me that's looking for outside validation from others.
Can I tell you a secret?
Please?
There is no outside for you. Everything you're experiencing in your universe is you. So you're only looking for validation from yourself. Yes, there are other beings, as we said before, but you're only experiencing your version of them. So they are aspects and reflections of you, even though they are also somewhat symbolically representative of other real beings. they're still reflecting to you what it is you need to understand about what you need to give to yourself. So you have to give it to yourself, and there is no reason not to except for the reasons you create, thus creating reflections of other people to not give it to you, because you're not giving it to yourself. Remember, they're just reflecting to you what you're giving off.
Yeah.
I don't deserve to be cared about. I don't care about myself, so I'm going to create a bunch of reflections and symbols of other people that don't care about me either. All you have to do is realize you're the one creating that for some particular reason. So what's the reason? And then you will realize the reason is nonsensical. You don't have to create that reason. And the paradox is, you have to care for yourself and know that you're worth it and deserve it, regardless of what's going on in the reflections. Let's put it in the simple analogy, as we always do, of a mirror. Listen to this phrase. Now, I'm just going to use the term God. I'm just going to use that term to make this phrase simple. It's God, goddess, it's all that is, it's source, it's whatever you want to call it. But here's the reality. God is a mirror. Let that sink in. God is a mirror. It can only show you what you're giving off. That's all it can do. God is a mirror. If you're frowning, you can only see a frown on the reflection in the mirror. That's all that can come back to you. It cannot smile before you do. But the mirror doesn't have a choice of its own. It doesn't care what you look like on your face. It will dutifully reflect whatever you give off, whatever expression you have. So if you're seeing a frown in the reflection in the mirror, and you would prefer to smile, the reflection isn't stopping you from smiling. You have to decide to smile. Then the mirror has no choice but to smile back, because it doesn't have a contradictory opinion. It's just a mirror. It doesn't say, oh, you shouldn't smile now. Don't smile at me. It says, oh, you're smiling. Here you go. God is a mirror. That's it. That's the ultimate guiding principle, because it's giving you literally what you're giving off to guide you. Because if you don't prefer the reflection, change it. There is nothing to stop you from changing it. The control is in your hands. Totally, utterly in your hands. You're in charge. So why not feel deserving? The reflection doesn't care. Being a being that is deserving can be just as real, because it's all within the reflection. Is this making some sense?
It definitely is.
Is it helping?
It is. Would you say that taking an approach of like fake it till you make it is something that's fitting?
You can use the general idea, the general concept behind that principle, but it's not really about faking it. It's about knowing that while you're faking it, what you're actually doing is practicing what can actually become true for you. So it can't just be that you're faking it. It has to be that you are mocking it up until you understand that there's no reason to pretend that it is actually your reality. But you have to realize that internally before you will experience it externally. Does that make sense?
It does.
So when you're looking in a mirror, how do you fake a smile?
It's not a very good one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The mirror is going to do this too. Is that what you prefer?
No.
Probably not.
No.
So finally you will say, well, yeah, it's not really about this, it's just about this. Because that feels good. That's who I prefer to be. And the mirror goes, okay. So, yeah, sure, you can go and fake it, but that's what you will see in the mirror. Yes?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask you another question?
I don't know. That was a question.
May I? May I ask? Okay. Sometimes when you're waiting, you cock
Sometimes
your
when
teeth.
you're what?
When you're waiting.
Why are you waiting?
No, when you are.
When I'm waiting, I'm never waiting.
I'm just I'm just wondering why you do that.
Why I do what?
All right, never mind. Thank you.
Why I do what? It's the channel's body translating the fact that I'm having a conversation with someone else.
So when my father was dying, he started doing that a lot. And
He might have been having a conversation with beings on the other side he was about to meet.
yeah, he said some things that made me think that, and
Yes.
I saw you do it, and I was like,
It could
Whoa.
also mean that Dad is saying hello.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's start with some simple beliefs so I can use that as an example of what I am talking about. Here is one that is very popular on your planet. Success is difficult. That's the equation. Success equals difficulty. If you have been taught to believe that it is difficult to create success in your life, then you will constantly create patterns and situations that prove the equation. You hear mathematicians talking all the time about finding proofs for their equations. Well, that's what life is. Life, the reality you experience, is the proof of the equation you have in your belief system. This is why it is so important to understand what physical reality is in terms of reflecting your beliefs to you. Because physical reality is just a mirror reflecting to you your strongest beliefs about what you think is true. Reflecting your strongest beliefs back to you about what you believe is possible for you. This is how to use your life and the circumstances that happen in your life in a positive way to put you in touch with your belief. Physical reality is very much like, literally, a mirror. So if you are having a sad life or a sad situation, it's because it's reflecting back the sadness that you are putting out. It's just like the mirror that you look at yourself in the morning. If you see a sad expression on the face in the mirror, you don't try to touch the face in the mirror and make the reflection smile. You know you cannot change the expression in the mirror out there. You know the only way to change the expression in the mirror is to change the expression on your face first. So, because physical reality is literally a mirror, it works the same way. If you see something out there that you don't prefer, you cannot really force it to change by working outside yourself. You have to change what's inside in order to see a change outside. Because outside doesn't really exist. It's an illusion, a reflection. Just as you know, the person you see in the mirror isn't really over there. All the light is going to the mirror and bouncing back to show you the person in the mirror is really here. So when people on your planet project their problems onto other people or blame other situations for being responsible for how they feel out there, that's not really where it's coming from. It's coming from here. But this is the beauty of physical reality functioning like a mirror, because it always turns you back to yourself. If something is going on in your life that's not the way you prefer it to be, then physical reality is beautifully showing you there is something you need to change in your belief system in order to make the change happen out there. And the first level to always check is the belief system. You must find the equation, how the equation is written that would create that kind of an effect in your life. The way to do this is simply by asking yourself the following question. What would I need to believe in order to experience what is going on out here in my physical life? Again, please remember, there's a difference between the idea of struggling and suffering and simply experiencing a challenge that is exciting. Challenge is positive, suffering is negative. So make sure, first of all, that you're not just referring to the idea of challenge. You will always have challenge because challenge helps you stretch and grow. But when you stay in positive belief, the challenges will also be exciting. But if you find yourself struggling and suffering as you unfold your life, then let your life reflect to you that there must be an equation within your belief system that says life must be a struggle. When you discover what the equation is, then you can move to step 2. So step 1 is finding out what the belief is, what the equation is, such as success is difficult. Now, once you have identified the equation, the belief, the definition, something very magical happened. Perhaps for a long time in your life, this definition that has been unconscious within you has felt very powerful because the struggle in your life feels very real and very powerful. And one of the reasons sometimes that it may seem difficult to change is that because when you do hold on to a belief, it generates energy, it generates power. And most belief equations contain a very specific variable or factor. Most beliefs, when they are in place, appear to be the only belief possible. Many beliefs, when they are firmly lodged in your personality structure, make it appear as if no other belief is possible. There is only one exception to this, and that is the fundamental belief that all beliefs are equally true and equally possible. But if you don't have the belief within you that all beliefs are equally true and equally possible, then each other belief will make it seem as if no other reality is possible. And this is what makes it seem more difficult to change your belief and change your reality. It isn't more difficult, it just makes it appear more difficult. But the reason that this factor exists is so that when you do choose a belief, you'll be able to focus on that reality without worrying about slipping out of that focus. It's like an automatic mechanism, so you don't have to constantly think about holding on to that belief in order to have a certain experience. But if you understand that that's how belief is structured, then it is easier for you to change that factor, to unlock that factor and unlock from any particular belief. And the technique for unlocking from any belief is what we have just said. The first step, you must identify the belief. You must use your reality to reflect to you what belief you would have to have in order to experience that reality. But here is the thing that is powerful and magical about identifying the belief. As soon as you are aware of what the belief is, as soon as you have identified it, the belief now becomes neutral. It has no more power. You do not have to do anything extra or anything special in order to depower or turn off that old belief. Identifying it is enough to switch it off and make it neutral. So now you can understand that belief has no more power at all right at that moment when you are holding it there in your thoughts and you are aware of what it is. Any tendencies or habits that were connected to that belief have now been neutralized. If you keep doing the same thing from that point forward, it's not because it's a habit, it's because you are now choosing to do that again. Because remember, a habit is something you do that you don't know you're doing. Once you know you have the habit, you don't have it anymore. People on your planet have been taught to believe that when they discover they have a particular habit, then they think they are just at the beginning of a process that they have to figure out in order to change that habit. But it's just the opposite. The recognition that you have a habit is the end of the process. At the moment you realize you have the habit, in that moment you do not have the habit. So, just like belief system, you've identified the belief, It is now neutral. You no longer have that belief. It's unplugged. So remember this motto. Identification equals neutralization. All right, so now this belief, our example, success is difficult, has now been neutralized. It's just floating there in your imagination doing nothing. So what's the next step? The next step is to create a new belief equation, to replace the old one with a new equation. So let's use a new example. The new example might be, success is effortless. If that is the equation you prefer, and you can take time testing out different ones until you find one that feels very exciting, feels just right. But once you have found it, let's say again, for example, success is effortless. Then in your imagination, see the two equations next to each other. Right now, they're both neutral. On one hand, you can see the equation, success is difficult. On the other hand, you see the equation, success is effortless. Now, see yourself literally unplugging the old equation as if it were stuck in some kind of prong or plug. Unplug it from your personality. Put it in your box of equations that you are no longer using. It's like replacing an old light bulb. You have unscrewed the old equation because it's burning you out. Throw it in the recycling bin to be smashed and recycled into something more positive. Take the new, clean light bulb of your fresh, new equation. Success is effortless. Screw it in to the socket. Then flip the switch on and watch it light up. It's now in place. Feel your energy begin to rise as you put more emotion and energy into the fact that you love this new equation. You become excited. Here's where excitement comes in. You become excited about the fact that you now have this new beautiful equation and you no longer have the old one. Now you know the new equation is in place, it's turned on, and it's shining brightly. The next step, then, is to look around at your life, and out of all the things that you are capable of doing at that moment, to pick the one that has the highest degree of excitement. Because the thing now out there that has the highest degree of excitement for you is showing you that your new belief equation is shining like a spotlight right on that thing. Because the new equation was created and energized and activated by your excitement. It now is the vibration that will link to all other excitement in your life and show you the way to go. And as soon as you have changed that belief, you will also feel the effect cascading down, reverberating through your entire personality structure. The emotions will change, the thought patterns will change, your behavior, your actions will change, all from the change of that one little negative belief. And then as you take action in that way, with the new personality structure, your life will reflect that total change to you. However, do not fall into the negative belief trap called judgment and expectation. What this means is as follows. Many people will go, well, I've changed my belief, but I don't see anything outside in my life really changing. It doesn't look any different. Once again, understand the nature of physical reality. All circumstances and situations in physical reality are fundamentally neutral. They do not have built-in meaning. A particular situation can create a positive or a negative effect. Any situation can actually create either a positive or a negative effect. The effect that you get out of any given situation is completely determined by the energy you put into it. If you put positive energy into it, if you understand that the situation is there for a positive reason, you will only get a positive effect from it no matter how it looks. So let us say you have come out of a situation that you were feeling a negative effect from, and then you change your belief about that circumstance and situation. And then you go back into the situation, but on the surface, nothing looks like it's changed. Do not despair and say, oh, nothing out here changed. That must mean I didn't really change my belief. It's how you behave toward the situation that determines that your belief has changed, not what the situation looks like on the surface. When you trust, when you know you have changed your belief and you act differently within the situation, then even though the situation may look the same, you will get a different effect from the situation. It is quite possible that the exterior situation may change its appearance to reflect the change within you, but it may not. You have to remain true within yourself to know you have changed and act like you know you have changed, and then you will get a different experience out of the very same situation. And here is the paradox. Here is the irony in this idea. Because if you look at the situation outside and say, that means I haven't changed because it didn't change, then you haven't changed. In other words, if you're still relying on outward appearances to decide whether or not you have changed, then you really haven't changed, and it is reflecting an accurate picture to you. But when you know you have changed, and you accept that even though the thing may look the same, you still believe you have changed, then you give the situation the greatest possibility of actually changing its outward appearance. But first, it's almost like you are testing yourself to see if you really believe you have changed by being given exactly the same situation again, to see if you're going to act differently toward it. So when you do behave differently toward it and get a different effect from it, then you have proved to yourself that you have changed, and then the outward situation may change its appearance to suit the true change that you now know exists within you. But as long as you wait for your outer reality to change in order to believe that you have really changed, then you haven't really changed. And now you have the tool and the technique for transforming your belief and your reality. So it really is this simple. Use what is happening in your reality to show you what kind of a belief you would have to have in order to generate that kind of reality. Use what is going on in your outer reality to reflect to you what kind of a belief your personality would have to have in order to generate that kind of reality. Identify the negative belief you have had like it's an equation. Know at that moment that you have identified it, it has lost its power, it's neutral. Create a new definition. Take out the old definition, put in the new definition. Energize the new definition with your excitement that there is a new definition. Look out into your life and see what it is that excites you the most and take action on that. Every single time you run into what seems to be another fear, another obstacle, do this technique over again and find out what that belief is that you don't prefer. The more you practice this technique, the faster you will be able to transform your beliefs. It will become eventually automatic. You'll be able to identify negative beliefs very quickly, just make them disappear, automatically replace them, move on. All the while knowing, this is who I am, this is what I prefer to be, because I deserve unconditional love, and my reality is full of magic. And why can I believe this? Because creation has given me the power and the right to determine to choose what is right for me. And nothing and no one has the power to change that but me. That is the gift of unconditional love that I have been given from creation. Creation loves me so unconditionally that it will even allow me to believe that I am not loved. Creation will allow me to believe that I am not loved. It will even allow me to choose that belief. That's how much creation loves me unconditionally. It will support me whatever I choose to believe. Even if I choose to believe I am not loved, it will still support me. It will actually allow me to have that belief. So if creation is so unconditionally loving that it would actually allow me to have the belief I'm not loved, then I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it will support me if I choose to believe that I am unconditionally loved. So when I choose to say I am unconditionally loved, my life is effortless, my life is magic, my life is creative and exciting, it allows me to choose that and will completely support me in that choice. And when you really know that, you are free. And your personality construct is completely in harmony and balance. And you understand the big picture of how everything works together in harmony. And the light that shines brightest in your life are the things that contain the highest love, the highest joy, the highest excitement. And you will understand that that is your true vibration, the vibration from which you were created. And so that vibration in you will attract all other such similar circumstances and situations and vibrations in your life. Acting on your excitement at any given moment to the highest degree you are able to act on it is filling your purpose and your destiny in life. Whatever way that chooses to express itself creatively is completely up to you, because that is the gift you have been given from all that is. Now, let us talk a little bit about some of the ideas of the kinds of dreams that will manifest in your 21st century that you can participate in. And we will come back to a little bit more discussion later of the personality construct of belief, emotion, and thought patterns and action. But let us look ahead into an alternate now. Now, because the future doesn't really exist, it all exists now. What are some of the exciting things that are going to be created by you in the 21st century? Well, very important area that is going to be expanding is the idea of information. So many more of you are going to allow yourselves to find new and exciting ways to receive and share information about so many different things. Whole new companies will come into existence just for the sole purpose of being able to collect and share information. The idea of your so-called internet is the infant version of this idea. Eventually, any information available to anyone will be available to everyone, everywhere, at any time. You could be on top of the highest mountain all by yourself. You could be at the bottom of the deepest ocean all by yourself. But you will invent techniques in order to be able to tap in to know anything you need to know at that time, at that place, no matter where or when you are. You will be able to figure out how to allow the entire planet itself to become one internet. You can be connected to it all the time if you wish. Or you'll be able to be private and alone if you wish. Communication will also expand in understanding. And what we mean by this is as follows. You will begin to understand the vibrational frequency of different states of consciousness, not only within yourself as an individual, but with all forms of life. You will truly learn how to carry on conversations with animals, plants, rocks, anything that exists on your planet. You will understand that you are in a constant relationship with all these things, having a constant communication and conversation with everything in your world and the universe. So beyond the idea of just information, it will be the idea of communication and relationship with all things. And the areas that will benefit from this will be many, especially the notion of education. The education of your children and yourselves will become much more experiential. You will not just sit and listen, you will do and learn. Whole environments will be created to give you experiences in which you can learn new things with all of your senses. Because when you are given a real experience, then you learn more and retain more of that information and can apply more of that information into your life. And so experiential education will expand on your planet. The creation of new stories in new ways. More the idea of being in a play, to read a story rather than just having it read to you. You will take parts and become the story, acting it out. And you can become, in a sense, everything in the play. An ancient technique in Atlantean times was as follows. In order to teach children, they were put in what you would call a more hypnotic state with the beating of a drum. The beating of the drum matched their heartbeat. The beating of the drum was slowed down so that the heartbeat would follow and slow down. Once they were in this trance-like state, then they were shown different objects. And in this trance-like state, they were told that they were the object itself. They were told that they were the sail of a ship or the whole ship. They were told that they were a specific crystal or a specific animal. They were told they were this animal and asked then to feel what is it like to be this rock or be this animal. And thus by playing this part, they would learn about this thing by actually being it and knowing everything that they needed to know about it. So by playing out the story and being the characters and being everything in the story, you will learn more about everything and everyone in the story and live it. You will absorb the knowledge of the story into the cellular structure of your body, and it will be easier for you to apply the lessons of the story in life because they will have become a part of you. As each and every one of you individually, from this point forward, follows and acts on your highest excitement, you may find yourself being attracted to creating new ways, new companies, new techniques, new projects that are similar to some of the things we are describing here. You will learn to trust that your imagination, when you act on your excitement, will bring you everything you need to understand in order to know how to create these things and help the world change. You must trust that your imagination will always bring you the best technique that will work for you in terms of how to act in the direction of your excitement. And one of the most powerful ways to manifest your dream is connected to what we have just talked about. And that is immersing yourself in a full representation, a full environment that represents the reality you would prefer. So when there is a reality that you would like to create that doesn't yet exist, one very strong technique and powerful technique you can use is to simulate it as close as possible. What this means is as follows. If there is a place on your planet that is more representative of your joy, more representative of the environment that would exist in the place where you would do this exciting thing, it would be better if you would actually be in that place. Now, if for some reason you just find that there is no opportunity presenting itself to you to actually travel to that different location that is more representative of your joy, then you must simulate it where you are as closely as possible. Create the environment as closely as possible around you so that you can practice being in that reality. Because if you imagine in your highest excitement that you are going to be the president of a very powerful and creative company, and you see in your imagination that when you are the president of this company, you are sitting in your office behind this beautiful desk in this very big comfortable chair like this. But when you are at your house or apartment, you are sitting in a not so comfortable chair at a little desk like this, then your body energy, your body language is not the same as the body language in your dream. Every little orchestration of energy counts. If you can create a room in your house or apartment to look like the office of the president you will be in all the ways you can, then you will be creating that reality more solidly. Because when you are the president of that very exciting company, your body language will be very different, perhaps, than the body language that you exhibit now on a day-to-day basis. You must change all of your energy representation to be as close as possible to the way you say you want to actually be when you see yourself living your dream. And so, The idea then is that the closer you can match what you see in your imagination, the more real your body consciousness will believe it is, and the more real energy you will project out that will transform your reality. So, to use another brief example, if your dream is to become a very famous actor, beautifully delivering plays on stage, then find a stage and go on the stage and go through the motions and act out the play and see the audience before you in the seats. And the more people you can ask to help you run through the practice version, the more real it will become. If you can get people to act with you on the stage, then invite them to do so if they would find that exciting. If you can get people to be the audience watching the play and they are excited to sit in the seats and do that, then invite them to do so. Get as close as you possibly can to the end picture, the big picture. If you cannot find enough people willing to act on stage or sit in the audience with you, make cardboard cutouts of people and put them there. Because it will make a difference to your body language if you are actually acting with and acting for something that your eye goes to. Do not put limits on your imagination. Get as close as you possibly can to simulating the dream you say you want to live. And practice it and practice it and practice it and make changes if the changes are more exciting. That energy will radiate out into the world and attract to you all the circumstances, situations, and opportunities that will allow it to come to pass, to come into reality in the easiest possible way. But these opportunities will come in the form that represents your highest excitement. They may not appear to be connected to the dream, but if they contain the highest excitement and you have the greatest ability to act on them, that's what lets you know it is connected. So let this vibration and everything we have discussed with you in this communication sink in and become real. Feel it in your cells.